Both Cuomo brothers are now out of a job. CNN officially giving Chris Cuomo the axe. The former anchor now calling out the network and denying he ever lied to his boss, Jeff Zucker, about how he was supporting his brother. Cuomo was suspended for trying to dig up dirt on Andrew Cuomo's sexual harassment accusers. And now we are learning Chris is being hit with another harassment claim. CNN saying Chris didn't give them many options.
Chris Cuomo, one of the most popular anchors at CNN, one of the best-known names in television news, violated journalistic ethics and norms, not once or twice, but many times. And that's ultimately what is the result of today's news. There was death by 1,000 cuts, where there were just so many headaches.
Death by all 999,000 of those cuts. CNN never even acknowledged.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, what are those?
And also remember that they didn't care about the policy of what was going on during COVID, but they were doing, there was like, as Jim Garrity put it today, that there were theater critics saying, oh, Andrew Cuomo's briefings are so fun. They're so interesting. And that was what led to them relaxing their rule that they couldn't be on television together doing interviews, and then they were just for fun. Then it turns out, actually, the nursing homes was a huge problem. The book was a really ridiculous thing. And at the same time, there's going to be this dispute, and this story is not over, because if Chris Cuomo is going to try to go after Jeff Zucker, and CNN is going to have to figure out a way to deal with this. I mean, obviously, the Cuomo brothers like to fight, so we're in for more entertainment.
They could be, both going down fighting. Greg?
Well, the both of them are going to be on my show tonight.
Yeah, nice. I'll be watching.
Yeah. No, I'm lying. I love how Stelter was just like essentially drooling over the leftover Thanksgiving carcass. He's like, oh, yeah, he's really good, but he's gone now. Everybody, I'm available. And then there was another bit where he said, I asked somebody who was on his show, has CNN lost trust on this? And it was like, of course they have, but it's not Cuomo alone. Right? It's like asking if CNN's lost trust. How can you say that when you've actually, your fingerprints, CNN's fingerprints are all over the corpse of trust. They are, the 5-year collusion hoax, fine people hoax, drinking bleach, every day's worse than Watergate, Smollett, Covington, Kavanaugh. All of these things build up a case that CNN's trust is gone. I think this is an opportunity for this network, and I know they listen to me for advice. Zucker will call me, but I'm often busy. This is a time for them to regain their lost luster by perhaps cleaning house, maybe deciding that the oppression Olympics isn't the way to go. Stop pitting people against each other, identities against identities. Maybe return to the fact that we're all Americans. I know that's not their profit model. The profit model is that get this group against this group. But if you had, if you just finally realized that Americans could really return to just being Americans, that would be a good start.
Do you think, Katie, CNN would do that, would go back to a more straight news presentation?
I don't know what they're going to do. I'm not going to speculate on what they're going to do, but what I do know is that the war between Andrew Cuomo and Zucker has completely started. Chris Cuomo, excuse me. Chris Cuomo is not going to go down alone, and he might have a point. It was a very beneficial relationship that Andrew Cuomo was the governor of New York, was a foil against Donald Trump, and CNN had him on whenever he wanted because he was the brother of Chris Cuomo. We all watched it happen. We watched it play out until it was no longer inappropriate because things started going downhill for the governor, and now there's all these allegations of what an internal investigation found from an outside law firm, which they conveniently left out of the announcement when they said that he had been fired. They didn't say exactly what all of the problems were. But I think that the executives knew a lot more than they're willing to let on. And there'll be lots of lawyers involved to find out, and lots of leaking going on about what was found and what that death by 1,000 cuts. Because if it really is 1,000 cuts, a lot of people would like to know what the 1,000 cuts are.
Richard.
Look, I think I think it's very clear that Chris Cuomo didn't tell his boss the entire truth. And what makes this really sad is because when you're a journalist, especially when you sit in an anchor chair, there's ethics that you're supposed to abide by. Journalism is undergirded by truth, right? It's built around the ideals of transparency, accountability, and disclosure. When a reporter fails to lean into those values, they continue to sow the seeds of distrust and mistrust towards the media. And our job is to shine light into dark places and to illuminate smoke-filled rooms. And Cuomo did the opposite on all of those.
Okay. One more thing is up next.